Hi, once again, this is Justin Zartan, and today we're going to be talking about the gijoe cobra stingray. Let me get on a second here, check out something. Alright, I've talked about gijoe products before, maybe once or twice, and well, when I was younger, I really started out with the 12-inch gijoes, and then when I got older, I got into the smaller stuff. I believe they've been out for a good couple of years before I really got into the small ones. And then when I got older, I started collecting more of the small ones, and I was going to do a comparison test to the two of them. Yes, I said it. We're going to talk about the stinger. And the main thing I really want to talk about is the stinger driver. I'm trying to set up two of them right now for the comparison. And it doesn't seem to be going as well. We'll talk more about that in a second, as soon as I figure out how to get this guy to stand up. Alright, what you're about to watch is real. I'm not trying to offend anybody on purpose, but I'm sure somehow I will. Alright, the comparison I want to go through is playability on the toys. When I was younger, the toys were more of a rigid plastic. You know, they could be moved around a lot and played with well. Nowadays, the plastic seems to be more flexible. It doesn't break as easy, but it doesn't hold up well. Okay, we'll go through the comparison. All right, the one right here is from the original toy line. What, 82, around there, I believe. And right there is from just a couple years ago, 2010 set. They are both stinger drivers. The stinger driver was a multi-purpose vehicle driver. As you can see, that the newer ones have more detail than the old ones did, but the plastic is not as well, in my opinion. I'll read a little bit more about the stinger driver here in a second to let you guys know about the stinger driver, but here, let's go into detail of the figure. The detail of the figure, everything on the old ones is molded on. The plastic in the hands were more of a harder plastic, and at certain points they could break. They did have a lot of movability, as you can see. Back then, they could bend at the elbows, twist at the elbow, twist at the head, bend and twist at the shoulder. They could bend and twist at the waist. They could bend and twist at the hips, and bend only, no twist at the knees. They were a kind of a much larger head figure. They had details of a knife and stuff that were molded on, and not much playwear from the figure itself, but yes, they could, you know, they sat and stood a whole lot easier than the modern, or the figures that they came up with, more realistic, they call them. See, that was one-handed standing, easy. Now, the newer ones have a lot more twist and bending. They, of course, bend at the shoulder, twist at the shoulder, but they also twist at the wrist, so you can change the gun. The helmet, like the other ones, did come off. They bend and twist at the neck. It's like a ball joint. The straps on the are not molded on. They come off easily, but I don't figure out how out of hand. They have a joint here at the chest where they could take the helmet off because it keeps getting in the way. They could bend at the twist at the chest. They also can, instead of at the waist. There is no waist bending. They can bend and twist at the hips, but on these they can bend at the knee, and of course they can twist at the knee. They can twist at the ankle and bend at the ankle, unlike the other ones. They have a knife that's not molded on and can come out. The leg harness is molded on. They have a lot more detail, like I said, but the plastic is way flimsier and seems to not stand up well to play. Now for standing, I stood the other one by one hand. This guy, not so easy to stand. That's why they come with stands now. And you could probably get him more action pose if you had it there. But he's not standing as straight. His helmet's crooked. We'll move, oops, his helmet fell off again. As you can see, the Stinger driver did not come with a gun when he was first introduced. The newer ones do come with guns. The older ones, when they became loose, you could often tighten them up. You know, they came with, you often tighten them up by changing out their, the O-rings. The new ones do not have an O-ring, and they do not have the backpack hole like the original ones did. They used that as a backpack hole, but that's more of where the screw is in. This one did stand up for quite well. It is kind of coming loose. As soon as I replace the O-ring, I'm sure it would tighten up. This one is come loose. No O-ring to tighten, but a lot more detail and harder to stand than the older ones were. I believe the older ones stood up a lot better compared to the older ones. See, a lot easier to stand the older ones with, you know. The heads, as you can see in size height, the newer one is taller. Oops, he fell over, so it's hard to compare. Height is taller. Oops, again he fell over. The head is more realistic, not as fat. He can do a lot more action stands if I could find a stand for him. Onto the vehicle. The vehicle was is a remold of the Viper. This one's called or the Vamp. This one's called the Stingray. I don't have the guns and stuff for it. Now, my thing is, it's not that you shouldn't go out and buy some of the new stuff. If you want the new stuff, it's not as much play. There's another toy company out that puts a lot more detail in their figures. And like I said, the playability kind of wears out because the figure doesn't stand up well for play. A lot more fragile, and so you probably have to end up buying more figures. Not standing, I did end up getting a couple of the lines of the 50th anniversary sets. This makes this cool about this is you can slide him into the vehicle like the old ones. Tuck his head a little bit, pop him in there, close down the door, switch it around. They did not make a new Vamp Jeep or Stinger Jeep for the new guys. With him being taller, he might be a little bit harder to get in. He does make a good side pilot if you can ever get him in. Alright, I'll talk a little bit about the newer stuff. The figures I got. The plastic on the newer stuff is less quality than anything. Then this one's called the Mastiff device. They've made a Mastiff device set before. Comes with Duke, Cobra Commander, with shiny metal mask, because she didn't come with a shiny metal mask when I was younger, and a Cobra Trooper, which is a claw trooper. He flies the claw. The claw compared to the old one, is a lot more detailed, but it doesn't have the good playability. The wings are fixed. They don't extend like on the old one. You can't adjust the flaps. This is the 50th anniversary set, along with a couple other ones I bought. Here we have Hit and Run. Hit and Run originally was in a black and white figure, or a green and black figure with camouflage. Now they have more of a here, I'll turn on a light to give more contrast, see if that helps out. More of a contrast look. Hit and Run here, he looks like his face is silver. Of course, we got Torpedo. Torpedo is in his original suit. And one of my all-time favorites, Zartan. Zartan does not color change like his predecessors do. And he doesn't just come with a snap-on mask. He comes with exchangeable heads. We got Duke, Storm Shadow, and that looks like it's probably Grunt, or what's his name? Gung Ho. The box reads Vanishing Act. I have no idea why he's silver, unless that's his new camouflage paint. Too much of a glare, not enough glare. Alright, another set that's out for the 50th anniversary set is, we got Dusty, which I never remember seeing Dusty in that outfit. Bazooka. Bazooka originally had a red jersey, not a blue, and in some of the newer books he's dead. And of course, another one of my favorites, Firefly. This one is called the Sneak Attack. Now, like I said, I'll read a little bit from the file card from the Stinger driver. The Stinger driver's name was unknown because there was various Stinger drivers. He was the code name was the Enemy. Primarily, he was Stinger driver and infantry. Secondary military specialty was artillery and intelligence. Birthplace is various countries. Grade, he was an E4 or an O4 or equivalent of. Cobra officers are frontline officers who had Cobra attack units into battle. Many are also delivered by the operating as the spies and the defense plants, nuclear power facilities, etc. All are martial arts experts, masters in disguise, deception, and demolitions. Graduated Stinger drivers school, which means they take them to like a driving school. Quality export AK-47, assault rifle, PM-63 machine pistol, M16 Ingram M11 submachine gun. Cobra officers are dedicated to destroy gijoe and the American way of life. Beware, they are extremely dangerous and enemies. I believe Larry Hama wrote almost all the fire cards up to a certain point for gijoe. Back onto the gijoe thing and one of the sets. Again, there's one of my favorite guys, Firefly. There are a couple other sets that are out. I haven't purchased them up yet, and haven't purchased them all yet, and I'll keep looking. Alright, once again, this is Justin Zartan. I hope you enjoyed another one of my videos. I'm trying to get better at reviewing figures. Talk to you guys later. Bye.